Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Beside Next Labs, I'm also co-founder of NapulETH, so I'm super happy to see you guys here enjoying the event. So thank you again for being here and joining us. Hope you're enjoying. So today we're going to introduce a super cool concept in crypto that, in my opinion, should be addressed more, and are decentralized indexes. Usually people in traditional finance invest in ETFs, as you may know. So, financial tools that actually gives you the possibility to be exposed to more asset doing one transaction. So you may know the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 40. You invest in one asset, you're being exposed to 500 companies. In the case of the S&P 500, to the top 500 companies by market cap in the US market. So we at Next Labs thought, okay, why don't we build something similar, but we put it on chain? So we first of all noticed a problem that is the usual pain points of Web3 portfolio management. 70% of crypto portfolio are overexposed to just one tokens or maybe to meme coins. Here, maybe we have more people that actually diversify, but in the end, the portfolio management is not a super efficient thing to do. It's a manual management burden, so you just have to go across different wallets, bridges, protocol, risking a lot of, risking the possibility that a bridge get hacked or, a smart contract get a hold in it. So another big problem is the emotional decision making. So as you may know, in crypto, there is a lot of FOMO-driven decision, like the last trend that goes there, like the new AI frontier, the meme coin there, and so on. And then the technical complexity. So a lot of people actually start to invest in crypto, but then usually don't know how to rebalance, they don't have actually an investment strategy. So we thought that a solution could be an on-chain ETFs. As you may know, this huge trend of real-world asset tokenization allow us to have, for example, stocks on-chain, commodities on-chain. So we say, okay, since we are having a lot of assets that are also available in traditional finance, and ETFs are one of the most used tools in traditional finance, they are still missing on the ETF concept, they are still missing on-chain. So we said, okay, let's create a smart contract that can hold different assets. And once you deposit these assets, it will mint you an index token that represents the underlying assets that you're buying. So I will make some example to let you understand better, but what are the benefits of this? You can get one-click exposure to crypto and tokenized real-world assets, so like gold, stocks, bonds. A smart index token that rebalance automatically, so you don't have the struggle to stay there every month and say, okay, no, these assets is increased more in price, so I have to rebalance back to another asset and so on. You don't have to bridge across protocol. And also, these products, the most important thing, are designed for passive investors, not day traders. I mean, you can trade with it, but the concept here is to give you a solution that gives you freedom. So you just have to invest. Maybe you do a dollar cost average on that, and you have to forget about it. A lot of people do full-time jobs. You don't have time to manage your portfolio, maybe spending hours a week to understand which is the best decision for you to make. So we designed this tool for people that actually wants to invest, but they don't want also to spend a lot of time in it. And also, by the way, the passive investment strategy proved by the traditional finance in the long term is the ones that works. Like a lot of asset managers try to overperform the usual indexes, but they're not able. Just because an asset manager that actually makes this decision for you will never overperform the market, even if they have like the best monies in the world, algorithms, resources in it. They are not overperforming the S&P 500, and passive investment works. So we said, okay, let's introduce this kind of strategy also in crypto, and let's see how it goes. Another super cool point, of course, that since we are on-chain, our ETFs are fully transparent and composable. So you can always go there, check the smart contract vault, and see how many assets are there, the fees that we are taking, and the amount of asset under management. And of course, the index that gets minted is self-custody. Like, I mean, yeah, you have it in your wallet and just that. So we don't hold any money of the users that actually deposit on the indexes. Real use cases, the slide got fucked up a bit, but just to let you understand. One of my favorite products is the anti-inflation index, the one on top left here. The anti-inflation index is composed by tokenized gold, by Tether, and Bitcoin. Now, every index that you see here has a different logic behind in terms of rebalance, in terms of weights of the asset inside it. For the anti-inflation index, for example, we have an inverse volatility logic. What does it mean? That gold, as you may know, is way less volatile than Bitcoin. It's like a more secure asset, it's a store of value, and it doesn't get like one day, like maybe an intraday change could be like at 0.5%, 0.3%, for example, while Bitcoin, you know for sure that one day could be a 120, one day could be a 100K, another day could be a 98, so it's way more volatile. So what does it mean, inverse volatility? Means that Bitcoin, in this case, will be less present in this index. So for example, if you invest 100 USDC in this anti-inflation index, $70 will get to buy gold, 30 to buy Bitcoin. So right now, we will see more in details, the real percentages in live, but we are around 70% gold, 30% Bitcoin. Going forward, another super cool one is Crypto 5, top 5 crypto by market cap. The strategy, the weight logic here is like the S&P 500, so market cap weighted. With this asset, you actually expose yourself to the top 5 crypto by market cap. So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, and XRP based on their market cap. And these indexes, all the indexes you see, has also a rebalance frequency. This means that every month, we built an engine that actually rebalance automatically these indexes, so you don't have to think about it. You just know actually in advance while you buy the index, what is the rebalance logic. So you already know that maybe every first of the month, this index gets rebalanced based on the mechanism that you wrote before to buy the index. Another super cool one is Magnificent 7. We made this in partnership with Dinari, one of the first stock tokenizer with a license with the SEC of the USA. So we basically here took the top 7 stocks by market cap, the top 7 tech stocks by market cap, and put it in a vault. So you can buy, you can actually expose yourself like a sort of small NASDAQ on-chain, fully transparent and self-custody. And going forward, another one is the Arbitrum Ecosystem Index. I will spend like 1 minute more on this one because it's like a version of a wide range of indexes that we can build. It's a cool topic actually, because you may believe that maybe the Arbitrum ecosystem is a super healthy ecosystem, so you want to expose yourself to the Arbitrum ecosystem. How you do it? You buy ARB token, or you start to buy randomly protocols that run on Arbitrum. So we thought, okay, but if I buy the Arbitrum token, I'm not really exposing myself to the health of the Arbitrum ecosystem, because people dump the token, VC dumps the token, maybe tokenomics are shitty. So we say, okay, we need to have a token that actually represents the real health, the real performance of that ecosystem. So we structured it like this. We have 15% of the native token of that ecosystem, that in this case is Arbitrum, but could be Sui or another chain. And then the others, 85%, is composed by the top performant protocol of that ecosystem based on different metrics. That could be TVL, on-chain activity, wallet activity, and others that you can maybe check on the docs, or you can say hi to our booth there in the sponsor area on the left. So this can really lead to, interesting things, because we can go to the Sui Foundation and say, hey, do you want your ecosystem index? You can go to the, maybe, a wide range of layer 2s that actually have in their protocols that runs and, make a lot of on-chain activity, and you can actually expose yourself to this ecosystem without doing any analysis. Like, we did it for you, and you can also have a look on that analysis before to buy the index. Also, another cool one, it's capital protected node, CPN, but before to do that, you may understand that we have the flexibility to build any index we want. So these are just 5 that we are building since we just released our mainnet. But imagine like having thematic indices. Like in traditional finance, you usually have ETFs for sustainability, ETFs for quantum computing. So think about the same concept, but on chain, on trends that we have on blockchains. So maybe the AI index, aggregating the top AI protocol in the crypto space, the top tier 1 centralized exchange tokens. So you get exposed to, I don't know, BNB, Coin, Crypto, of Crypto.com, and so on. So you can build actually thematic indexes. And in our opinion, this was a product that was missing in the market. And it was a product that we needed first, not as founders, but as crypto investors. So we said, okay, we are crypto investors. Our target audience could be crypto investors, but also institutional investors. That's why then we thought about, okay, maybe the anti-inflation index could be an interesting one for people that are not so risk averse, and they maybe think, okay, I want to expose myself to Bitcoin, but maybe not so much. I don't want to go all in there. I'm still conservative because maybe I'm 50 years old, I have a family, I have a mortgage on me, so I cannot go all in Bitcoin because it's really volatile. So maybe the anti-inflation index is just a pill that we can make in people's mind, we can put in people's minds to let them understand that actually, these kind of mixed products can really help you to then get introduced to a wide range of products, and also to get introduced to investing into a blockchain infrastructure that gives you a lot of benefits that I'm not telling you now because you already know. So going still on the same institutional path, we thought, okay, let's also try to build a product that is perfect for the 70 years old. You may know, in Italy, the 90% of the wealth is owned by the maybe 1% of the population, and this 1% of the population is 60 years old or more. They will never invest in Crypto 5, in top 7 stocks or whatever, but they might invest in a product like these capital protected notes. What is a capital protected note? It's a mixed product that have inside a bond and a super volatile asset, maybe like Bitcoin or others. How does it work? It covers you the investment. You have a bond that yields, let's say, 2% per year. You invest in that bond 100K with the 2% of the yield. Instead of receiving it back in fiat or in USDC, you invest it in Bitcoin, so in a volatile asset. This gives you basically zero risk because you are covered by the investment that you made in the bond that actually is like maybe the most secure investment that you can do right now in the financial market. But then you're also exposing yourself with a super small percentages, of course, but into a crypto asset like Bitcoin. So when we talk with different institutional partners, we have, for example, with Banca Sella, Banca Patrimoni Sella, we also have a founder that will have a panel about it. I don't know where, you can check the agenda, but Rosario Napolano is a director at Banca Patrimoni Sella, and when we presented this product, he was super enthusiastic. Like, he was really, really happy because like with this product, you can actually leverage and say to people, hey, crypto investing is not just about meme coin. You can actually invest in assets that are not only crypto, because the blockchain infrastructure is moving away from just crypto investing, meme coin investing, and that bullshit, but a lot of assets are being tokenized. So as soon as more assets are being tokenized, we can build more indexes. That's a cool thing, of course. Super short, I don't want to be too technical. How it works, basically every index is an ERC20 index token. So every index is a sort of let's say, certification that we give you once you invest in a vault. What does it mean? You interact with our DApp. You want to buy, let's say, 100 USDC of Crypto5. You go in the vault, you buy the index, your 100 USDC gets split in the 5 underlying assets. We use the Chainlink cross-chain interoperability protocol that allow us to deposit this 100 USDC in every native chain of the underlying asset. So for example, Crypto5, you have to deposit it on AVM chains like Ethereum. Then you have Solana, then you have XRP. So usually without this Chainlink CCIP, you should go cross your asset, then deposit on the selected chains. With this Chainlink tool, you don't have to do anything. So you just deposit your 100 USDC. These 100 USDC get deposited in the different chains, and then a smart contract mint you the index token that is your, let's say, receipt of this buy action. Opposite, when you want to sell, you take your index token, you interact with our smart contract, we sell the underlying asset in every chain, and then we burn the index token to give you back your USDC. Then, of course, based on how the underlying asset performed, you may have a profit or a loss. So it's really easy, like Rapid Bitcoin, like USDT, how you mint and burn is the same concept. And then, as I say to you, automatic rebalance mechanism is a smart contract that periodically rebalance and adjust your portfolio based on the logic of the index that you bought. Now, I want to show you super fast the DApp overview, so you can have an idea. We spend a lot in UX and UI design, so I really appreciate if you maybe can jump on the booth after and give us some feedback. These are the indexes. So these are the performances over 1 year. But just to let you understand, we can go in details of the index. And you can have like some information about it, the market statistics, the TVL, the eventual fee that it gets. And these are the weights live. So we have 70%, 19% of tokenized gold and 29.81% of Bitcoin, native Bitcoin. Another one, maybe here we can show you better. Crypto5, these are the percentages now. So based on the market cap and based on the last day of the rebalance, that should be maybe 18 days ago, because we do it once a month. These are the weights. So you invest 100 USDC in this Crypto5, these USDC get automatically divided and splitted by these percentages. So $73 will go into Bitcoin, 13 to Ethereum, and so on. These are the percentages for Mag7. So you can have 90% for Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Tesla. And then this is for RB. So this is just a small example. We can scroll down for the catalog because something really cool is to show you, for example, even though you may see a negative performance of the Arbitrum ecosystem index, if we start to compare, for example, with maybe like Arbitrum, for example, so we can compare the performances of the Arbitrum ecosystem index against the ARB token. So doing that, you can understand that if it works, it should. No, it doesn't work. By the way, maybe you can check it later. The Arbitrum ecosystem index overperformed by a lot the ARB token. So this concept of the ecosystem indexes really works and is super interesting. Just a super short thing about the vision and our roadmap. So right now we went mainnet. During 2025, we're building a vibe coding portfolio builder. This is one of the most interesting things we're building, in my opinion, in the last 3 years. So we said, okay, like ETFs are pretty composable. You can think about creating any index you may have in mind based on your strategy. So we don't want to take the struggle to create it for you because every investor has different profile risk. So we said, okay, why we don't give you the possibility, you user, DApp users, we want to give you the possibility to create your own index. But everybody, doesn't know how to code or build smart contract index. So right now, like the huge trend of artificial intelligence, prompt engineering, ChatGPT, Lovable, like a no-code tool, are, people are getting used to this kind of interface where you have a chat, you just want to type and prompt what you want, and then you receive an output. So what we're building is a vibe coding portfolio builder. So you just have to write to this vibe coding tool what your investment strategy is, and then it, in the back end, will build you the portfolio you're asking. So you can set up your rebalance frequency, you can set up the assets you want based on, of course, if the assets are on-chain, the index is fully composable, so you can just click the asset you want. And then, of course, you will make money out of it, because if you're a content creator, a KOL, or maybe an influential people, or just a smart guy, you can build an index, put a fee on that, and earn fees based on how many assets under management are inside that index. So if you're good in marketing and you're pretty influential, you can actually build an index, expose it to maybe X, and then get famous because people are start to buy your indexes. For 2026, instead, we are aiming to build a white label for TradFi institution and treasury DAOs. This means that we will have a sort of white label of our smart contract infrastructure to allow institutional investors to build your index like you're doing in Web3. And then we are aiming also to have the maker licensing to start to issue legally, and like on centralized exchange, for example, our indexes. What we're doing, cool promotion, you can go in our booth, and there will be Valeria, our collaborator, that will explain you better how this works. But for anyone who buys $50 or any index, you will add that to a short list, and you can, there will be a raffle, a random raffle, to win $500 of the anti-inflation index. Of course, you can sell it as soon as you receive it, but I don't suggest it just because we are here for the long term. These products are for the long term. I'm pretty sure that if you're here at NapulETH, you believe in the crypto space, in the blockchain in general, in Ethereum ecosystem. So, maybe you can still hold some anti-inflation index because beside the cool products, we are here for the long term. And yeah, I hope that you got the point that Web3 investors are usually labeled like degen. I'm pretty sure that here in this room, not everyone is just here to speculate and say bullshit about meme coin. We want to have also kind of not like an institutional approach, but I think understand that blockchain investing in general, blockchain as an infrastructure to invest in financial asset is becoming a thing. So our goal now is to let this big guy understand that as they may invest in ETFs and traditional finance, they can do it now in crypto. So you just have to scan the QR code, access our app, explore our on-chain ETFs, maybe buy one. You can go to the booth and tell Valeria that you actually bought it. They will sign your email, and then we just have a raffle, and then you may win this 500 USDC. If you have any question, please do it. Maybe someone has already an idea of which index you would build with the build your own index. So maybe we can implement it for you before the vibe coding tool is ready. Thank you.
Any questions?
We need it for registration. For registration, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for the presentation. I like it. I really like it. I'm investing on Bitpanda. All right, so Bitpanda has a similar concept where they developed their own index funds. I mean, crypto index where they allocate automatically, and also they rebalance automatically over there. So here with the next lab, my question is, can we create our own portfolio? Because I was missing this one because I just moved, so can we create our own portfolio and then we dedicated the allocation for each single coin or for single assets? If this one is all right, so thank you.
Exactly, like the cool point of that is that these indexes and our smart contract engine is super composable. So we are building this vibe coding tool that allow you to create your own index. And then you can also, put your referral on it. It means that if people start to buy your index, you can also earn a fee on the asset under management you have. So you will have like a ChatGPT interface, really similar to it. You just prompt the index that you want to build. The smart contract engine will start to create the smart contract. Then you have to set up, of course, the weight logic. So if you want it to be market cap weighted, inverse volatility weighted, and the other logic that we saw before, then you just create your index token. And of course, it needs to be liquid. I mean, either you start to invest in it personally, or you just have to promote it to let other people invest in it. But again, you will be the smart contract owner just for the fees, so as a creator. And then if the index is good, people maybe will start to buy it. But you can use it for your, also personally, if you have your investment strategy, you want it, you have your perfect portfolio allocation, you just create your index, but right now it's not available. So we are building it, and maybe around early 2026 it will be ready. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, but still passive. I mean, that, exactly. Exactly. Exactly, yeah. Sure. Sure.
Hi. Thanks for the presentation. There's just one technical aspect that I didn't catch, probably was distracted. So technically, the users and the USDT, I think, to the protocol, they ask for a specific index coin to be mint. Then the protocol makes an oracle call to Chainlink. Then Chainlink, what does it do exactly? So they ask for a specific token to be bought, but the token is not then transferred to your protocol, or so where are the tokens?
The tokens will be stored in a smart contract vault in every chain. So we have, let's say, like a sort of digital vault on every chain where the underlying assets will be sent. So you have USDC. You want to buy Crypto5. We have on every chain a smart contract vault that will store the underlying assets. So through Chainlink, we actually split this USDC. We buy and swap the USDC in the underlying assets. And in every chain, native chain, there will be the token that are like your underlying asset that you bought through the index. And then as soon as the Oracle receives the fact that these assets are in the smart contract vault, it will mint you the index token as a receipt.
Yes, I understand that. But if many users mint the same index, all the tokens they buy will go to the same smart contract, creating a big honeypot. And we all know where it goes.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. If you create a big honeypot, it will be hacked sooner or later.
Yeah, of course. Every smart contract vault needs to be audited. And it's not like a big one, but there are different ones.
So through dark nodes. So there will be many nodes in which the honeypot is split.
Kind of.
This is what you say?
Not like, I mean, it's like having, of course, there is a risk, like having smart contract vault, and like every smart contract has its own risk to be hacked. But this is the catch to have like self-custody and not, we don't want to hold people money. So the only thing to do that is to have like on-chain smart contract that store these underlying assets somewhere. And they need to be stored on-chain, of course, because people may want to know, how many assets under management are there, for example, and actually that the funds that they deposited, their underlying assets are there. So our work will be to audit these vaults the more we can.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I have mainly one question. It is about the tax issue. How would this kind of instrument being treated for the tax purposes, referring to the Italian system, I mean? Are you operating as a substitute of taxes, so sostituto d'imposta, or are you planning to work on it in order to give this benefit to the users?
Yeah, we of course have to work on it because right now there is no super clear indication how this can be, labeled, because it can be an asset reference token and then a type of law applies. We spent a lot of money on law consultancy, and the answer was not super clear. So you may ask to your personal tax lawyer and understand how these kind of assets may be labeled one or another. But of course, our process is to being fully licensed. And then, as soon as we proceed with our fundraise, for sure we have to, be clear in what we are. Like, these index tokens are ERC20s. So as you invest in Ethereum or another one, it's the same type of assets, but have the catch that they are also representing other ERC20s on chain. So it's kind of tricky, and it's not super clear how we can define them at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you, because I strongly believe, as the case of Trade Republic, that once you implement that service, you gain a competitive advantage over the competitors. But
yeah,
another question that I had, as a traditional investor, maybe as a holder of Vanguard, S&P, or iShares MSCI World, how would you convince me to shift from the traditional investment, so the classical ETF, to an ETF on chain, to an index on chain?
I mean, we have still some limits in this case because, of course, passive ETFs on traditional financials are super cheap. Right now, gas fees are being super cheap, but all these engine costs a bit in terms of gas fees. So our vision is that, in a way or another, the vision is that people will start to invest in blockchain infrastructure as we scale, not as a protocol, but as an ecosystem. So, moving from traditional broker, or probably traditional broker will move into blockchain infrastructure. So in this case, beside our own indexes that we build, that's why we are building also the white label solution, because we're pretty sure, and we want to be ready, that as soon as these traditional big guys want to come on chain and offer their same services that they are offering traditional systems, we are ready there to offer them our tech infrastructure, and then start to also address and help them to offer the same product that they're offering but on chain. So to answer your question, in this moment, if you're not tech savvy, you will not invest in on-chain ETFs. But also just the curiosity to shift a little bit your investment strategy and see that actually on-chain things are maybe more transparent. You can have some self-custody on that. You don't have to, even though in Europe in general we are insured up to 100K. So if you're a small investor, you don't give a shit about it. But the vision is, like, we are building not for this moment, but for the trend that is arriving, that is huge. So it's more a vision than like not for the present, but people maybe we also build things for degens, like also a meme coin index is under development, so people can expose themselves in one-shot transaction to all these shitty meme coins. Maybe we're building something for the present, but mostly for the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
One question about the when you say the underlying asset, I would imagine it's assets on different chains, and then it would probably involve wrapped assets like synthetic assets, especially when it comes to like stocks, not actual tokens. How do you then manage the issuer risk or the bridge risk or the wrap provider risk, or you don't look into that at all?
This is where the cross-chain interoperability protocol come into the game. So we also entered in the Chainlink acceleration program. So they're helping us in this transfer of tokens. So through this Chainlink, I'm not super tech guy, so you can also, there is also our CTO in the booth, so maybe you can ask him better. But in general, like through cross-chain interoperability protocol of Chainlink, we have the possibility to move the assets safely, and having the cross-chain index without the user to without requiring the user to actually bridge the things. Sure. Okay. I guess so. Huh? Okay.
A big thanks to Lorenzo.